What episode is this?
We're on 13.
Episode 13 of the Real Ones podcast. It's your host, Joey.
And Thomas.
And today, we have Tyler Santiago.
We do. Santiago Sports.
Santiago Sports 2.
Santiago Sports Podcast.
Tyler is one of the most well-known card collectors on the East Coast.
Yeah, I mean, we're behind the scenes with a lot of shows, and it really seems like he's one of the most well-known in the country.
Exactly. And we got to know him through his own podcast, actually.
Yeah, we did. We've had the pleasure of filming 10 episodes of Santiago Sports Podcast Season 1. He had on people that, for me, being a sports fan, I was like, wow, this is really cool. I've really enjoyed the time.
100%. And it was cool because seeing you excited as a sports fan really made me excited.
As a boss, that just really makes Joe jump for joy when he sees his employees happy.
I'm not really a big sports fan. You know?
You're really not. It's actually surprising the amount of times that we were sitting behind the camera in the show when they're talking about things, and Joe had zero clue. I'm talking about, unless they were talking about Tiger Woods, Joe. Shout out John. Shout out John.
We can get that. Yeah. But no, seriously.
No, keep that John part.
Tyler is one of the most authentic people I've ever met, and I'm excited to have him on the show today.
Yeah.
Welcome, Tyler Santiago, everybody.
What's going on, man?
Come on.
What's going on? Thanks for coming on.
You guys got the whole
Sick.
setup. I didn't have none of this.
Soon.
Soon come.
That
Season 2.
that all comes.
It all comes. We're chilling.
Oh yeah.
Well, welcome.
What's going on, man?
Chilling. It's actually, I mean, I don't know how you're wearing a jacket, but it's fucking hot. today.
Oh, it is.
It's funny. It's been hotter.
Yeah.
But we got like a brand new like AC.
Right there, right
Nice.
there. It's been hot as shit in our office.
Yeah.
It's literally like 70 degrees out. I just trekked on our way in. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah. If the landlord's watching this, get your shit together.
So one of our friends connected us, and we kind of met. You decided you want to do the podcast, and we kind of just hit it off from there.
Mm-hmm.
What was your experience working with us?
I mean, it was fun because you guys are like, you know your shit with like all this stuff. I actually went to school for all this, like not the
No way.
podcast side of it. Well, I did do a podcast, but I went to Rutgers, so like I kind of know what I'm looking for in terms of like production and stuff like that. So like seeing you guys do it, and like the first time you came for the podcast, I'm like, you guys are setting up the umbrella lights and all that stuff and the lavs and everything. I'm like, all right, this is legit. And then you guys got the lights too. I was like, all right, that I wasn't expecting, because like it really does look dope in the background, like the picture and everything.
Yeah.
So like that like was really, really cool. But yeah, working with you guys is great. I know you guys have a lot of other guests that you
Rutgers
worked with
alums.
Before.
A lot.
Yeah.
We had a lot of Rutgers alums on
Rutgers
the pods.
alums.
Are you?
fuck. Trying to get the me out.
Crazy.
So you went to you got your degree at Rutgers?
Yeah, degree in communications, and then, well, that's the, what is it? I don't know, not bachelor's. What is it called?
It's a Bachelor of Science.
Yeah, something like that. And then,
Doesn't even know.
And then I have a minor in entrepreneurship.
Oh,
So
damn.
getting into business school at Rutgers is like insanely hard.
Yeah.
Even like New Brunswick, even like Newark or Camden is hard.
Yeah.
They're business schools, but they're the best business school in the Northeast. And like a way to finesse them is to get into the entrepreneurship program, because then you're in the business school and you can kind of see what it's like and see if you actually want to do that. I had no interest, but like the entrepreneurship part I did. Some pointless classes though.
Were there parts from the entrepreneurship school that you took with you and carried on? A lot of people
Yeah.
say school didn't really do anything for
I mean,
them.
I feel like college overall is still kind of a scam for like what you pay.
Yeah.
I guess a blessing and a curse, because I got a lot of financial aid, so like that helped me a lot. I mean, obviously my parents, but I came out of college with zero debt, and
That's crazy.
that was great. I went through all 4 years and everything nonstop just to graduate on time. I should have technically went 5, but I was like, I only had one in between like semester off in 4 years, because I just wanted to get it over with. I'm like, I want to get this shit over with and done.
Yeah.
But taking away things from college, I feel like I learned a good amount of knowledge from professors and stuff. Some of it was obviously pointless, like all that accounting and stuff. Like I'll pay someone to do that. I'm not an accountant. I'm no one that ever goes to an entrepreneurship or business class is usually ever going to be an accountant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I learned some. I don't know. Like I feel like networking, the importance of networking more than anything, because it really is all about who you know.
Yeah. When did you know you wanted to? Did you get a job out of school?
So I was delivering pizza all throughout college for the most part. Esposito's in Matawan.
Oh, that's a fire. Sesame seed pizza.
Yeah.
With the crust fire.
It is. They have an electric oven now, which isn't as good. But I was delivering pizza, and I worked at Air Trampoline before that. And I was always doing the card hustle and all that during that.
Oh, nice.
But so I was working full-time, delivering, doing cards, and then full-time student year-round. Not like, I mean, you might have had a week off here and there between winter and all that stuff, but was doing all that. And then right after I graduated, well, actually while I was still in Rutgers, someone approached me in Philly about potentially opening a store. And we were going through with that. And this is like pre-pandemic because I graduated May 2020, which is pandemic. And they started shutting stuff down like, what is it, mid-March, if I remember, of 2020. So I remember it was a Philly show. There was a trade night there. And we were in the midst of like, you know, about to open. Like we had the space. We still had stuff to do. Like we're going to have a trade night there. So we had people come like 30, 35 minutes from Valley Forge, even though it's a Philly show, to South Street of Philly. And that's what I was going to do. I was still in school. I was going to have that store and everything. But that was like my biggest lesson and blessing because I didn't have paperwork for any of that. And I had a falling out with my business partner who's a scumbag. And stole from me and all that, but I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna name names. People know who if they know my story.
Yeah.
But that was what I was gonna do right out of college. And once that fell apart, you know, there's quarantine, and I was like, man, I want to do this no matter what, even if it falls apart. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna stick it to this guy. I'm just gonna do it. Like that's kind of how a lot of big things start. Like you literally just have to do it because some people are so afraid of taking that leap and just doing it because you're scared of failing, number one, but you just have to do it. That's really all there is to it. But yeah, that was what I was gonna do after college or during college.
Damn. So then when did you open up the first shop?
So opened up the first shop. I signed the lease August 2020. So it wasn't too much
After like
wasn't too far after graduating or like that was still the middle of the pandemic.
Damn.
Yeah.
So like you still had to wear a mask and shit. And if you go back on my Google reviews, you'll see people complaining, "Oh, he's not wearing a mask." I'm like, dude, it's my store. You don't like it? I don't want your money. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, so we opened September. It was September 19th, 2020, down by because I know you know Matawan, bowling alley.
Yeah.
We moved from there to now 34, right down 34 next to Retro. So.
And how did you build that clientele? Because it seems like you guys on social media have such like a cult following. Did you always have that, or like how did you build that at first, like at the first shop and just like early on?
So I've always had a big following on social media, mostly because like I pride myself off being like authentic and like real and shit. Like I don't like people that aren't like that. Like it's so hard to see a facade right away. Like I just don't mess with that. I remember during the pandemic, I did a giveaway and I hit 10,000 followers, and like in the card space, because like cards weren't that popular. Like you have to understand, during the pandemic, there was no sports, no betting. Like what were you gonna do? You're watching. People are like reminiscing and nostalgia and everything.
Yeah.
So with that, it's like, all right, what's the next best thing I could spend money on that has something to do with sports? All right, let me go open some packs of cards and boxes of cards. So people are getting into it and the market's heating up because people have nothing to do. They're at home finding their old box of cards, finding a Michael Jordan or a Kobe Bryant rookie, and they're like, holy shit. Like this stuff was really starting to pop off. So with all that, it just escalated. And I was like, all right, I really have to do this and take advantage of it. So
What first got you into cards?
my dad, for sure. Because you guys know I have a twin brother. We're fraternal. We're not identical. But
Shout out Casey.
yeah, Casey, my dad used to push me and Casey around like card shows in our stroller and everything. So that following too that we kind of have like in the local scene is because all these older dealers that saw us when we were kids just respected like the rise. Like I used to buy cards and they call it dime boxes, 10 cents a card, 10 for $1. I used to literally sit through people's boxes, and I still have one guy, shout out Sabby. I still have one guy that I see all the time, and he works in a store and he worked at a pizza place and he's always done cards. But he sees me. I used to buy 10-cent cards from him, and I used to, just try and flip them for $1, or maybe I'd find a $5 or $10 card and I'd go nuts. So you never know. So that eventually just led to, working your way up, leveling up. So that's really just how that works. And that's how, like, that following question that you asked starts locally with a network, and then you work your way up. And then you guys obviously know all the social media and everything. Like, it just builds. Like, that's how it goes.
And how are you like connecting? Because you guys are commenting while you guys are on live too. Are you guys like DM? How are you connecting with the people in the community, especially like since there are like bigger shows too?
So like, I mean, I know we talked about it a while ago. Like Instagram, the algorithm is booty cheeks. It's awful. It blows. It's so bad. Like, it used to be just chronological, and it would push people that you actually want to see and stuff like that. Now it's just like bullshit ads. You don't even see your friends post.
Oh no, honestly.
I mean, like, it's really like you kind of try to analyze it, but I don't know. It's really tough. Like, I don't know. Answering that's like, I don't know. It depends.
And you saw a lot of like YouTube success too, right?
Yeah. YouTube isn't like this. YouTube's different too now.
Yeah.
Like, they're trying to compete with TikTok. And what else? There's like another one out there. I don't even know. But Be Real. That's not videos, but I don't know.
I gotta be real.
Be Real's taking over the world though.
Yeah. Reels on TikTok. Reels on Instagram. TikTok.
Facebook Reels.
And then Facebook and all that.
YouTube even has the shorts.
The shorts.
It's crazy.
I don't know the algorithm with YouTube too much, but yeah, we have like a little over 7,000 subscribers on YouTube, but I put money into it. Like, we did our AC stuff, and it's not so much of like earning revenue from it. It also just gets people, drives them to your page.
So
Like, oh man, I respect the hustle, or like, I saw you bought this card in your video, like, I'm interested in it. Like, it just gets like so many people that would never see you if they're not on Instagram, or vice versa on any other platform. So like, YouTube does help. I like YouTube. The shorts, haven't done much with that yet, but I don't know.
So like, I know, like you said, you're yourself at all times. And since you started doing the podcast, that's probably been a way for people to even see you on a different level as well, with these people that you've met along the way. Where did that come from? Like, you knowing, like, there's a lot of people that even when they gain all success, they still don't have that just be themselves confidence. Where does that stem from?
We get deep on here.
I feel like more than anything, like, I feel like it always comes back to like past like trauma and shit like that, like from whether it's parents or like an ex or something like that. More than anything, I feel like it's, and shout out to her, I guess. It's it's like my one ex for the most part, because I was a person that didn't want to be because of that and like that downfall. So ever since then, it took me a while to get over, and I was like, literally just like, fuck it. Like, you have to be able to make yourself happy and fulfill your own dreams by yourself, and then happiness with someone else or whatever comes after that. So like, I've always been a firm believer in that, and that's why I really don't care what people say, because one, you're never going to be able to make everyone happy. It's just not going to happen. That's why I don't get into politics or anything, left, right, all that bullshit. Who cares? As one person, you can't make as big as a difference as like you'd like to, but if you could find people that appreciate you for who you are, then that's what it's all about. Like, that's what it's worth it to me. Like, I'm not worried about the guy that's saying, "Oh, you're an idiot, your content sucks," or like, "You got destroyed on that deal." I'm not worried about that guy. I'm worried about the person that continually supports me and all that, because that's where a following and a platform comes.
Exactly. And I feel like that translates to even your staff too. Like, your whole staff, everyone that you hire, anyone that works in any of the shops are like super cool. Shout out Vinny.
Yeah, shout out Vinny, dude. Vinny's cool and nice though.
We big fans of Vinny.
He's a goofball.
It was
Vinny's a
dope.
good dude.
Shout out Bubba.
Yeah, for those who don't
Big
know,
Bubba.
there was
Big Pete.
biggest card show.
Is Big Pete still in the shop?
Yeah.
Big Pete still down there.
We had a Christmas dinner at Kobe now a few weeks ago. Pete was there. He ate like a motherfucker.
Of course. So what do you do when you like hire staff? Is there like a specific thing you look for in people? Is there?
Number one, good person. Like I said, like back to before, got to be a good person. I got to get a good read. Number two, I've hired people that don't really know much about sports cards, but know sports. Like, learning cards and stuff will come. Like, I'm not asking you to name the first card in the set from 1953. I'm just looking for you to price cards and Most of the time, you don't really do too much. Like, we've been ramping up with, like, breaks and stuff. Like, you know, we go live on Instagram all the time and do box breaks, case breaks. So I've been ramping that up. And that's thanks to getting finally allocation. I think we talked about it on the one podcast from Panini and Topps. So, like, that helps a ton. Like, you're getting stuff at cost and getting in with the biggest companies in the game. So, like, took little under 2 years for Panini, and then 2 years and 1 day since I first opened to get Topps. So, like, I waited, talked to all these people, like, networked, and, like, oh, man, that was rough. But, like, it was just a big, like, relief off my shoulders.
How does that work when, like, those companies want to work together with you?
He's got to tear that up.
What's he tearing up?
A water
You're
bottle.
crazy.
Dude,
It's all good.
get him out
Yeah,
of the
it's
frame.
funny.
Let him run.
Honestly, it's like a whole like waiting process for most of the time. You're supposed to wait a year to 2 years, depending. Originally, it was a year, and then some of them moved on. But like so many shops started opening up that like you can't fulfill all their needs. So like people at the top who have had these allocations and contracts or whatever with the bigger companies, their stuff started to dwindle down, and that's because they want some of the new blood in there. But I feel like some people don't earn it necessarily, and I have no hate or animosity towards people like that, but like I know how hard I worked, and to see, I don't know, 50-year-old, I'm a white guy, but to see 50-year-old white dudes who have millions of dollars get bored with what they're doing, like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna open a card shop, get the contracts right away, and here I am doing it, you know, trying to do it the right way and everything. Like, that fucking hurt. I saw one dude do it, and I was like, man, like, what do I have to do, man? Some of that stuff's like a little discouraging, but I don't know. It's a lot of politics in anything you're in for the most part. I don't feel like so much in that, but like, I don't know. It's really tough.
And now you're interviewing like a bunch of different like athletes and influencers. Do you remember like the first interview you've done with like an athlete, or the first thing you did like on camera?
Did you go around, like, when you're at the shows, you're also going around and
Doing interviews and stuff.
doing
like
interviews with
So
people?
with the interviews and stuff, I'm trying to remember the first one. I don't even know. I feel like the first opportunity I got was as actually Fitterman Sports. He's like one of the biggest. He has an exclusive contract with WWE to like host their signings and like private signings for wrestlers and stuff. It was Houston. It was a little over a year ago. It was because his show's coming up. It was like a year ago. I got to talk with. I didn't get to interview him, but Ric Flair, Undertaker. It might have been Nashville before that, honestly. Yeah. No, it was Nashville. It was 100% Nashville. I'm thinking Fitterman because that's where I met him in Nashville. I got to interview or talk to Johnny Bench, which is my dad's favorite player of all time. He's the best catcher in baseball history. I mean, I think it's a fact. I think it had to have been Johnny Bench. There's Bob Lilly, who played for the Cowboys, and I got a video of Ric Flair and LT, but I didn't get to interview them because, like, it's like a respect thing back there. Like, I don't want to bother these guys, and you kind of have to read them, which is why, like, Chantilly is where, and shout out to Joe from CSA shows, that is where I get the most content because I have so many signers. But these athletes, they all have, like, handlers for the most part. So you want to talk to them and be like, hey, is it okay if I talk to him whenever he has time? And they'll kind of grab you and be like, all right, go. It's always on the fly, and that's how I like to do it. Like, when you guys came to record the podcast, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to say, but, like, we're going to get something done, and we're going to talk about it. I might have, like, 3 points, and then we'll just go based off that. But content-wise, interviewing these guys is pretty dope. Like, it's nuts.
Is there any like tips you have for people that are looking to like interview people? Because I know a lot of people get nervous before they go talk to like celebrities and things like that. Do you have like any tips at all?
I want to, like, I don't really ever get nervous. The only person I was ever nervous for is Barry Sanders because that's my GOAT. That's my guy. And I also saw him in AC too. But tips, just be yourself because, like, they can read you right away. And most of them will, you know, respect the fact that, like, you're kind of might be out of your comfort zone. Like, most people can read other people, be like, all right, this guy's like a little like jumpy or whatever. Like, they try to work with you too. Like, I've seen, there's a couple kids. This one kid, Elijah Sports Cards, and another kid, Charlie from like Collects or whatever. And they went to interview people at the NSC, like the national show. And they were like, you could see, like, they're nervous. They didn't really know what to say. But, like, the athletes like worked with them and they're like kind of asked themselves the questions to form it like that. So it's like, I don't know, number one, be prepared, have a couple questions ready to go, and don't let like the moment consume you, because it goes like that.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta tell yourself, like, if you get in the mindset of like there's gonna be many more to come, you won't build up that one so grand that you're like, oh my god, if it fails, this is it.
Exactly.
I get stopped in my tracks here.
Like
career's over.
The last Philly show, I went with one question. There wasn't a ton of people there to interview, but I went with one question for everyone. I'm like, I'm gonna ask this question, see how it goes, and then maybe like they'll bring up something and go from there. I asked, because we're in Philly, I'm like, all right, best cheesesteak in Philly. And that got reaction, because like that's something like they actually had to think about. They're like I'm gonna go ask Brandon Graham, like, oh, you ready for the game this week? He's gonna answer that a million times this week. Like,
of course.
Get him out of their comfort zone. Number one is like what they respect the most. I feel like it's pretty cool.
Damn.
Yeah, I was in a circle back to working with Casey. What's it like working with your brother?
I mean, it's good. It's fun. Obviously, like working with a sibling sometimes is like brings that, your family.
Yeah.
So like you yell at each other, you get pissed at each other easily. It happens. Yeah. But like it does help, because like that trust, it's hard to find. That's another thing with the employee question, trust. Mm-hmm. If I feel like I can trust someone, if I don't trust you, you're not going to work at my store. Yeah. But I trust Casey, so I trust him with some important things that help us keep the lights on and stuff. So trust number one, working with him. Casey's a unique guy.
Love Casey.
Most stubborn person ever. But he gets the job done. You got to learn how to work with people's quirks and stuff like that. Like,
he's very knowledgeable of what you're. I mean, when I see you guys working, when I was behind the booth with you guys, seeing you guys work together, like it was like you guys were always on the same page, and even if you weren't, there was a understanding of why you thought a certain way or why he thought a certain way too. That was cool. When we were at the show, was it AC when someone tried to? I know you've had situations.
Fuck Alex. Alex almost got on video.
Yeah.
Tried to take some shit.
Was Alex there that day?
Alex was there that day.
I think it was Alex that day, yeah. I don't know where he was. But, one kid switched out like a $60 card and put like it in a $20 holder. And I was like, dude, I literally priced these cards myself. Like, I know this was not $20. Like, give me the cards back and get the fuck away from my table. What I should have done to prevent it was, I was being a nice guy. I should have got security and be like, all right, get this kid out of here. He could have snuck back in. I don't know. Yeah. Like Alex snuck in that one day when he got kicked out or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Working with Casey's cool. Casey probably would have handled it different. And Casey can there's two people I trust to make deals on my own inventory. When people come to the store, it is what it is. Like if I'm there, I'll negotiate Casey and Justin. Those are the two people. But if you're doing something for the company, I'll trust you with that. It's hard because you're not playing with their money. It's the company's money, my money. It's different. Yeah,
definitely. And how do you how does it work keeping track of the pricing of cards and how it switches the market of it?
There's a lot of different ways, like eBay and Center Stage, and I guess even the Collects app and stuff like that. I would say a lot of it does change pretty frequently, which is kind of hard to keep up with, because I've had cards in the case that a month ago, I'm trying to think of one that was just in there. It was a Justin Herbert SGC 10 select rookie card. I mean, I had $100 on it. Last one sold for $60. So if you're respectful and want to be hey man, I know you have 100 on that. I'd be like, all right. I'm like, what did the last one sell for? He'll tell me, all right, it was $60, $70.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, so let's figure something out. But it's all about how you approach people sometimes. So I don't know. With that, I don't know. It's interesting to see how people because some people in this day and age really don't know how to talk to others. Yeah. With social media and everything. It's
I know you touch on that a lot on your podcast about communication and how for you it's simple. You see it so clear, but for others they make it so complicated, whether it's being dishonest or just trying to pull, pull your leg and get one up on you.
Exactly. I feel honesty is always the best way. Just being straightforward, not having a hidden agenda or I don't know.
So you have a mindset of there's going to be times where you might lose out on one card, but that relationship with that person, being honest with them, is only going to pay off in the long run.
Yeah, like I said before, it's all about supporting those who support you. that's how it should be. And sometimes it's not reciprocated, but that's just how it is.
Part of the game.
Exactly.
Is like the world of cards now, like, are cards valued higher than they've ever been before?
So pandemic, for like that year, everything was like nuts for the most part.
Yeah.
Stuff is like started to come back down to earth, especially on the higher end stuff and like the stuff that's readily available. So like there's a million Kobe rookies, a million Jordans, a million other whatevers. So people were just buying and buying and buying, and then people started grading and grading and grading. So like the supply at one point started to overproceed the demand.
Mm-hmm.
So like when that happens, all that stuff's going to go down. Less people are going to want it because everyone has it. So it's kind of like leveled out, like rightfully so, because people who were in it before like the boom, which is what people call it, the card boom, pandemic, whatever, like realize like, man, this card that I had for years and a Kobe rookie that I had for was worth $10 for years is now out of nowhere $100.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense. Like that can't last. So everything started to come back down to reality, which is how I thought it should be.
Is there any specific trade or something that you pulled that you were like, oh shit, like, or your favorite kind of like move you made? Anything, even if it doesn't have to be like financially, even if it's just something like
not even for me. Well, I'm gonna. There's two here. I posted and it did really good on TikTok and Instagram. Was a reel. This guy Shiz, who comes into our store all the time, he's one of our really good customers, and we always try to hook him up. He takes care of us. We buy stuff from him. He buys stuff from us. He called his shot like Babe Ruth. We opened a box of 2021 Select Football, and he goes, all right, there's going to be like a Trevor Lawrence black in here. And that's a card it's 1 of 1. Open the box, pulls it, 1 of 1. Like, I mean, that's like a movie scene right there. Like, he called his shot. It's pretty dope. So that was nuts. And then at the Philly show, I opened a box of cards. It was like my birthday weekend, so I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to open up something for myself. And I pulled a 1-of-1 Rasheed Wallace Detroit Pistons patch. I was like, damn, that's pretty cool.
That's sick.
He's also from Philly, so shout out Sheed.
How'd you become a Detroit fan?
That's a good question.
Number one, I fucking hate the Yankees. I hate the New York Giants.
That's where it all stems from.
I can't
first.
stand them. No, it doesn't really stem from that, but like, I hate the Yankees. I hate the Giants.
Yeah.
All the other New York teams I could deal with. So my dad's an all Cincinnati fan, and he loves. At one point, they did have all 4 major sports teams. They still have the Reds and they have the Bengals. They used to have the Cincinnati Stingers in the AHL, who Mark Messier played for, and then they had the Cincinnati Royals, was the ABA, who Oscar Robertson played for. So at one point, they did have all Big Four. So he kind of liked to stick with that, and that was because he was a Reds fan. So over time, I'm younger. I like the color blue. It's always been like, I wear blue, Casey wears red. And that's how it always was. So I like the color blue, and the Bengals are playing the Lions on TV. It must have been like 2001, 2 or 3, something like that. And I wanted to piss my dad off, so I'm like, I want the Lions to win. And then from that, I like the color blue. Over time, it's like, all right, I'm a Lions fan. As I got older, I just started rooting for all Detroit teams. And I have pictures to back up the support for Detroit. So,
damn. Shout out Big Sean.
So for the future, we know you have 2 shops going. Where do you want to build from where you're at right now?
Major goal is a shop in Detroit because there's nothing out there card wise. Like from the city of Detroit, the closest one's like 20, 25, 30
Are there
minutes.
some cities that are hotter in cards than others?
I would say so. I think like Detroit's hungry for it because downtown Detroit's like really like popping now. It's like up and coming.
Damn.
Like people think of Detroit and they're automatically like, fucking sucks. Like shitty city. No, Detroit's nice, up and coming. I mean,
Really?
you can look it up too. I'm not just spewing just from personal experience. Well, like I kind of am, but like
a little
you can
biased.
look it up too. But I mean, I don't see it being worse than like it's way easier to travel and navigate than New York City or Philly. Philly's a shitty city, I'll say that.
Agreed.
I back you up on that.
Philly's awful.
That's my least
The
favorite
people
city.
suck. The food's good. The streets suck. Traffic sucks.
Parking sucks.
Yeah.
Parking's worse in New York, I think. There's
I went
less
to go
parking
film there
garages.
for a day. An hour later, I go back and my car is towed.
I got towed once out there. It was rough. Yeah, but I want to open a store in Detroit one day. Maybe could be this year, but like the goal with that, I have to find someone out there that I trust. 'Cause I can't be 2 places at once. I'm kind of looking for people that are already into it and like want to grow what they have with my brand, and see if that's something that makes sense. Because I mean, I have connections that can help people, and having a city in a different or a store in a different city would be pretty dope, especially a big city. One guy was interested in Chicago, so that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But Detroit is definitely like my top goal, and then on top of that, like I mentioned the brakes before.
Mm-hmm.
So with getting this, being able to get allocated like these boxes at a better cost helps me offer it at a better cost to our customers and stuff, which then, brings more people in because it's more affordable. I mean, you can only try and compete so far in the market with any market. Like, I'm not going to be able to beat everyone. I'm just going to be there. But that's where like the following and having a good, foundation comes from. So we want to build that up and just keep going and getting more followers and stuff. Like this year, getting followers on Instagram was a little tougher with that algorithm.
Yeah.
Like my goal last year was I had a little under 30,000 to start. I just hit 36,000 today. I'm getting followers, but I'm also losing them, and like people aren't seeing the content and stuff. So I'd love to just keep growing that following, and I want to hit 10K on TikTok. I'm at like 8,200. I just want to hit numbers that like are nice and round and big, and just keep growing. And I don't know, possibilities are endless, but I like where we're at. But I know every year you start a year, you want to see yourself at a higher level at the end of the year. And I could definitely say 2022 was a good year for that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Should we hop into rapid fire?
Rapid fire.
Oh, shit.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I know what the last question is going to be, but favorite pair of kicks?
Like specific pair?
Specific pair.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pair you won or a pair you have already.
Military 4s.
Ooh.
Military blue 4s.
Very nice shoe.
Ben's got the mic back there.
Favorite employee at Santiago Sports 1 or 2?
Oh, shit.
No, don't do that to him.
Favorite employee?
We're going to clip this.
I gotta go, Justin. Justin doesn't give problems. He has a little like attitude sometimes, like unknowingly, but like he gets it done.
Favorite show that you've been to?
Car show, Philly.
Yeah.
Love Philly. Philly and Chantilly, both run by the same people, but great people.
Geno's or Pat's?
Both suck. The worst spots.
The first card that you opened, that your eyes opened up wide because you knew you struck gold.
Oh, when I was younger, I bought a bunch of loose packs at a garage sale, and this is like LeBron, Bosch, and Wade era when they teamed up. It was like super team. I pulled the triple rookie of them from a pack that I paid like $5 or $10 for. That was worth like $150 at the time, so that was dope because I was only like 13, 14 maybe.
Oh yeah.
Favorite fast food spot?
Wendy's or Sonic.
Ooh.
Sonic's a sleeper.
That's a switch
You
up.
can get anything at Sonic, literally.
Get tots. And an ocean
They got
water.
Cheddar, yeah, that's
Oh,
that's what I got.
The ocean water's
They
fire.
got cheddar cheese broccoli tots now, or yeah, something like that.
I already know what your answer is, but Popeyes or Chick-fil-A? I need our people to know where you stand on
I
it.
prefer Popeyes.
Why?
Better chicken.
Yeah, that crunch.
Yeah, and mac and cheese is better. The biscuits, I'll take Chick-fil-A, but it's whatever.
Favorite athlete all time? 1.
Corey Schlesinger, fullback, Detroit Lions, number 30, 95 to 2006.
Dream person to have on the podcast.
Oh, sure. Dream person. He died, but Young Dolph.
R.I.P.
That's my guy.
One person that you want to work on that you have in your mind right now that you're trying to get onto the podcast in the future.
You want someone alive?
Yeah, someone alive. Man, it's a tough one.
Got some really cool people on this season.
Yeah, Todd Frazier was cool guy.
Yeah.
That I could get on anyone in the world.
Anyone. Corey Schlesinger.
That would be cool. I talked to him. He's a quiet guy though. Probably wouldn't get too much out of him. Adam
What about like
Sandler?
any WWE people? I know you're
Batista.
Batista.
Because he's an actor, he's a wrestler.
Does
he
it
went
all.
from one profession to another. Batista, Adam Sandler would be pretty cool.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Adam Sandler's, I was a cool guy.
That'd be really
It'd be like
sick.
having your dad on the podcast.
Are there any like big name celebrities that you know of that are really into cards that like the average person might not know?
Rob Kardashian.
The Rob Kardashian.
He was breaking with bullpen a lot. Mike Trout, low key, is still into it. I met Mike Trout, and I made a deal with him. The car definitely wasn't worth it, but like getting to go on field for BP, meeting Mike Trout, getting his autograph,
Yeah.
talking to him, like that formed a pretty good connection. Like maybe one day he said he would like to stop by the shop. Busy guy. He's got a kid and a wife, but who knows? That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite card collector?
Favorite card collector? There's one guy that collects. Fuck is he? I'm one of my friends. I've seen him when I go to the National and stuff. His name's Tyler as well. Tyler Sports Guy. He has a really cool, unique like collection. Not like of one player, but like just a bunch of different stuff. I like his tastes because he likes the same older stuff as me.
Piece of advice you would tell your younger self.
Do it sooner.
Do it sooner.
Get it over with. Just do it.
What's one piece of advice you want to tell your older self?
My older self?
Like what's a message you want to give to your older self?
Like when I'm like 60 or something?
Yeah.
Keep living.
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
Word up.
And where can the people find out more about you?
Right in this camera.
So we have a link tree and all that, but if you guys want to find out more about Santiago Sports, you can go check out Instagram at Santiago Sports. Nice light blue logo. That's actually like right on my phone right there. So nice light blue logo. The sky. We're on YouTube, TikTok. What else are we on? I don't know. Pretty much everything. We have a website, santiagosports.com. Yeah, pretty much you go to Instagram, click the link tree. You can find us pretty much anywhere. We have a schedule of shows we're going to be at. You could come to our shop in Mattawan or the other one in Collingswood right outside of Philly. So,
yeah,
pretty much everywhere.
A lot of content people can tune in.
A lot of content.
A lot of content.
And give us a quote to that camera to close us out.
Be yourself, be real, and don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about you. See you later.
Tyler Santiago, everyone.
Awesome.
Whew, that was a good one.